Hello and welcome everyone, we Weeb Online, and today I'm gonna start a new series, What If Naruto Was Trained by a Third Hokage, Part 1. If you enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and to watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and turn that bell notification on so you never miss an upload. Now wasting no more time, let's begin.
Through the dark streets of Konohagakure, the sound of heavy breathing could be heard. This person had been running hard for a long time. When they kicked in his door, he was sleeping in his apartment and dreaming about ramen. He jumped out of bed and tried to run away. When one of the attackers saw him, he threw a kunai at him. He still had the small knife in his shoulder. He stopped for a second but knew that he couldn't stay for long. What had he done to deserve how this village treated him? Even though he was born here like everyone else, he was treated differently. Even people in his own village cursed him, and he didn't know why. He hadn't done anything bad. He was only 5 years old, but he wanted to be the Hokage. Why did they have so much hate for him? He heard his attackers' voices and started to move when someone walked in front of him. The man growled, "There you are, you little demon." He kicked him in the chest, which made him lose all his breath. He hit the wall so hard he coughed up blood. He was having trouble getting up, but his attention was on the crowd that had finally caught up with him. He pleaded, "Please, there's nothing wrong with me." It said nothing was wrong, but you killed our loved ones. Heard one. Because of you, I've lost my son. Someone else shouted. You ought to have died the day you were born. Someone roared. I don't understand what you're talking about, he said. He screamed in pain as a second kunai went into his other shoulder. The crowd began to pick up pieces of glass and rocks. The hurtful things were thrown at him. It didn't matter to them that it hit him. It didn't matter to them that he cried. He put his arms up to protect himself, but it didn't work. Why don't they just stop? Why does no one come to help me? Why are they against me? Why? Destroy them, he said. What? Kill them, wipe them out, and rip their flesh off their bones. Who are you? Look at what they did. They should be killed. Let out your anger, let out your rage, let out your fury. The boy let out a horrible roar that stopped the crowd. The noise was heard all over the village. The crowd watched as a red chakra surrounded the blonde girl. His wounds started to get better in amazing ways. The red chakra changed into a fox. It's the Kyuubi. He's releasing the Kyuubi. A woman screamed. One of them ran toward the boy, hoping to kill him, but he never got close enough. He fell to the ground, blood spraying from his throat. Everyone was horrified as the boy's blood covered his hand. He gave the rest of them an angry look. He ran straight at the crowd, not giving them time to get away. 3 people ran across the tops of houses. Each one was wearing a mask and carrying a sword on their back. They were responding to the blast of chakra they'd felt earlier. As they ran along the rooftops, one of them saw blood spraying on the ground. They got down to the ground and checked it out. They found more blood, and it led them to an alley. When they went in, they saw something horrifying. What they saw made them gasp. The whole alley was covered with blood. The ground was covered with bodies and body parts. They all looked like they had been attacked by many different animals. A small boy was in the middle of it all. He was covered in blood from head to toe. When he saw him, one of the ninja reached for his sword, but the leader stopped him. He looked at the eyes of the boy. They were surprised. He kept looking at his hand and his face was very confused and scared. The leader, who had silver hair that stood up, walked up to the child who was covered in blood. He knelt down to his level and looked him in the eyes. The little boy jumped and tried to run away. Wait, I'm not here to hurt you, he said. He said that. No, you'll hurt me the way they did. He screamed. I promise you I won't do that. Just relax, you can trust me. What happened here? Why are you covered in blood? The boy stopped in his tracks. He looked at the bodies that had been cut up. He looked at his hands again. Did I really do that? I have no idea. They threw things at me, and then I started to freak out, the boy said. He put his hands on his head and screamed. What is going on with me? The man with silver hair moved quickly toward the child and put his hand on the child's head. The little boy suddenly stopped screaming and felt better. The man watched as the boy's eyes filled with tears. Sadly, the man sighed. Minato-sensei, I'm really sorry. Look what they have done to your son. Hiruzen Sarutobi was not a drinker. He liked to smoke and read the books that his students wrote. He didn't drink much because it made him sad. Tonight, though, things would be different. He had just come back from the hospital, where he had spent time with Naruto Uzumaki, a boy he loved like a grandson. The news that his ANBU told him was very upsetting to him. He, like many others, felt the wave of chakra that was released and knew what kind of chakra it was. He had called Jiraiya to see if the seal was getting weaker, but he knew it wasn't the boy's fault. To think that these people would attack a 5-year-old in his own home is crazy. It made him angry, and he didn't feel bad for the people who died. Still, Naruto did use the Kyuubi's chakra, and the council was very upset about that. A few people called for his death, and one warhawk tried to get him. He let out a lot of his desire to kill in that room, so much so that he sent one council member to the hospital. He stormed out of the council room, grabbed some sake, and told his receptionist not to bother him on the way to his office. He was drinking from his saucer when someone knocked on his door. I said I didn't want to be bothered. Hiruzen said, "Sarutobi, we need to talk. Please, let us in." The old man sighed, since he knew who was on the other side of the door. Enter. When the door opened, it was exactly who he thought it would be. Koharu Udatane and Hamura Mitokado were his old teammates. "Honorable council members, what else can I do for you tonight?" he asked in a sarcastic tone. "Don't make us into enemies, Hiruzen. We've been working together for too long for it to end." Hamura said, "Just teammates, huh? Glad to hear that our time together didn't make us friends." "Stop it, Sarutobi. I know you care about the boy, but you can't just forget about this." Koharu injected. "You either want me to kill the boy or make a weapon. Sorry if I come across as grumpy." He scowled. "Then what would you like us to do? Once word gets out about this, his life will be in danger. Minato wouldn't want his son to be killed by the people he was supposed to protect." Hamura said, "You think I don't know that?" Hiruzen snapped. He hit the saucer hard on his desk. He looked out over the town. As his father lay dying there, I swore to him that I would protect him. I feel like I have let him down. He said sadly, "Not everyone thinks that the boy is the devil. He is a bright spot, but this must be fixed." Koharu said softly. Hiruzen sighed and looked out of his window. He stood up straight and faced his old team. "I will be in charge of Naruto myself." He gave them the news. Koharu and Hamura were surprised by what she said. "I don't understand what you mean by that," asked Koharu. "I'll take Naruto in, teach him the arts, and help him control his demon along the way," he said. "That's nuts. No, you can't." Hamura called out. "I won't kill the boy, and I'd burn down this village before I'd let Danzo take him. No one will ask me about this. As of today, I am in charge of Naruto Uzumaki. If anyone has a problem with that, I'll deal with it myself," he yelled back. Before Koharu spoke, the two of them stared at each other for a while. "If this is what you want, Hiruzen." "What she said." "Koharu," Hamura exclaimed. "No, there's nothing that makes me doubt your judgment. If you think this is the best choice, I won't stop you. Your decision will be shared with the council," she told me. Hiruzen didn't say anything, and he didn't thank them. He walked by them on his way out of his office. He had to tell Naruto that his life was going to change. Naruto saw white when he woke up. As he tried to move, he moaned. His body hurt, but he didn't care. He forced himself to sit down and tried to figure out what was going on. "The fact that you've woken up is a good sign." Naruto turned toward the sound and smiled at who he saw. "Old man," he cheered. Hiruzen smiled at him. He stopped talking and looked at the figure of his grandfather. "I'm back at the hospital, right?" "I'm afraid so, Naruto." He asked, "What do you remember about last night?" The young boy got lost in his thoughts. He said, "I was sleeping and dreaming about ramen." Hiruzen smiled at that, since he wasn't the only one who liked the boy. "At that moment, I heard someone kick in my door. I thought it could have been both villagers and ninjas, so I tried to run away. As I was jumping out, one of them caught me and hit me with a kunai. I ran for a while, but they caught up with me. They started throwing rocks and bottles made of glass. I was getting hurt badly when I heard a voice." "Voice? Whose voice?" "It was a frightening voice. It told me to act badly. When it yelled at me, everything went black. When I came to, blood and guts were all over the place. I thought it was those people with animal faces, but then I saw that blood was all over me. Did I kill them, old man?" He looked at the young boy and sighed. He knew he could not keep his dark secret from him any longer. "I'm sorry, Naruto, but you did," he said. "Then I'm a monster," I said. Naruto said sadly. "No, you are not. They're horrible people for trying to kill you." Hiruzen explained. "Grandpa, why do they dislike me?" Naruto cried. "Naruto, do you trust me?" The small boy gave him a nod. "You remember the Kyuubi story, right?" "Yeah, the Yondaime kicked its arse and killed him." "Well, only half of that is true. You're right, the Yondaime did kick him in the behind, but he couldn't kill him." Naruto looked puzzled at him. The Kyuubi is just raw chakra and bad intentions. It is a monster that has lived for a long time and only causes trouble when the world is full of evil. Even though Yondaime was very skilled, he could not kill the beast. He could only seal him in a baby's body. That surprised Naruto a lot. That's when he realized something. People thought he was dumb, but he wasn't. It just took him a while to figure out what was going on. "That baby he put the Kyuubi on, isn't it me?" Naruto asked. Hiruzen nodded slowly. But why did they pick me? This is why I asked you if you believe me. I am not allowed to tell you that. Naruto looked like he was going to yell at him, but the Sandaime stopped him. I can't tell you because you'd be in more danger if I did. When he saw that Naruto was confused, he went on. The Yondaime, whose name was Minato Namikaze, had a lot of enemies. Imagine if word got out that he used you to seal the Kyuubi. They would think that he had left you as a weapon to protect the village. They would do whatever it took to kill you. Naruto stopped moving when he heard that. It was bad enough that the village wanted him dead, but finding out that people from other villages also wanted to kill him was a wake-up call. I understand, I guess. Hiruzen laughed at the rude tone, but he got Naruto's attention quickly. Now listen, because it was too dangerous for you to be at home last night. I would have waited until you turned 7 before sending you to the academy, but we need to start your training right away. From now on, you will be my student, he said. Really? Naruto asked in joy. He started jumping up and down on the bed to show how happy he was. Alright, I've taken one step toward becoming Hokage. He asked, do you still want to be Hokage? Well, yeah, I'm going to have to find a new reason to be the Hokage, but I'm still going to take that hat from you. Hiruzen was shocked by this boy. Even after all he's been through, he still has a strong will. He gave his future student a smile. Alright, Naruto, let's get you out of here. Right? Naruto threw the covers off of him and looked for his clothes. He couldn't help but wonder what was in store for him in the future. Naruto followed Hiruzen into the Hokage mansion, where they went to a small room. The room was about the same size as his old apartment, but it didn't have a bathroom or kitchen. Naruto just looked around his new house and took everything in. So, how do you like it? Hiruzen asked. That's pretty cool. Are you sure I won't bother you? Naruto asked. Hiruzen looked to his left and said, not at all. Then an ANBU member appeared next to him. He told him something in a whisper that made him nod. The ANBU left, and Hiruzen went back to looking at Naruto. Naruto, I have to take care of something. Set yourself up and go to sleep. Ask my daughter for anything you might need. She's with my grandson down the hall. Okay, Naruto said. Hiruzen left, and Naruto was on his own once more. He put his bags down and fell onto the bed. He decided that it would be good to get some rest. The Sandaime sat and faced the clan leaders and council. He wasn't surprised to see them there because people would have heard about how he helped Naruto. So, you asked me to come here. What do you want me to do? Hiruzen asked. We'd like to know why you took in young Uzumaki. Fugaku Uchiha demanded. Right away, like always, the old Kage said. Enough, Sarutobi. The council wants to know why you took the boy. Hamura said. I would listen to how you speak, elder. I still run this small town. Stand in front of me if you want to question my authority. Hiruzen tried to hurt. Sandaime, tell us, we want to know. Hayashi asked. As you asked, I'm going to teach Naruto. I'll teach him how to use his power well. He told us. Are you mad? You'd teach him how to use that beast chakra. Fugaku called out. Even I have to agree that you have crossed the line. Inoichi added. And just how did I do that? I've already told you all that I will not kill him. I've also said that Danzo will never get him from me. He is not a weapon, but a boy who carries a load that none of you cowards would ever be able to handle. When Hiruzen spoke, several people yelled in anger. How dare you, said Fugaku, but Hiruzen stood up and hit them all with the intent to kill. Shut up or I'll kill you myself, he told them. No one had ever seen him so mad before. They thought he was serious and did what he told them to do. Right now, I can only think about what Minato thinks of you all. He gave his life for this village, and all he wanted was for the boy to be seen as the hero that he is. You have all spat on his grave by how you treat his legacy. Some people hid their faces in shame. Yes, I know what I'm doing might be completely crazy, but what do you think will happen again if he doesn't learn to control the Kyuubi's chakra? Are you willing to put the lives of the villagers at risk? So you're saying we're to blame? A member of the council. This time, it wasn't just a bunch of villagers who attacked him, ninjas did as well. Hiruzen stated. Choza started to say, none of our clans would dare, but Hiruzen threw a folder at him. He took a look and gasped. Yes, there was a Chunin from your clan and a Genin from the Inuzuka clan among the dead. I guess I should punish you both for not keeping your members in line. Hiruzen tried to hurt. Alright, so what do you plan to teach him? Fugaku asked. To start, self-defense, tactics, and controlling chakra. I won't let the boy continue to be a target. Anything else I teach him has nothing to do with you, he said, causing Fugaku to growl. Many of the council members still looked upset with him, but he just shook his head at them. Hayashi got up and turned to face him. Well, the Hyuga clan will back you up, but you have to take care of him. If this happens again, we'll go to the daimyo. He said that. I understand. If there is nothing else, I will leave. Hiruzen got up and left the room, making several people upset. The next day, Naruto and Hiruzen were training together in a private area. Hiruzen was wearing a brown karate top and a black ninja outfit. Naruto wore clothes like his, but the top of his shirt was a dark orange color. Okay, Naruto, before we start, I need to talk to you about a few things. You will call me sensei from now on. Also, I want you to try your hardest. No whining or complaining will be allowed. I'll punish you as soon as you do it. Do you follow? Hiruzen asked with seriousness. Hello, sensei. I will do what you say. Naruto said as seriously as he could. Hiruzen smiled at him. Okay, now drop and give me 20. Hi. Naruto fell to the ground and did 20 push-ups. After that, Hiruzen had him do more exercises such as sit-ups, jumping jacks, and squats. Naruto did all of them without complaining or even getting warm. Hiruzen was surprised by how strong the boy was. Are you feeling better yet? He asked. Yes, sensei. Naruto replied. Alright, come with me. Naruto did what he was told and stood by him. Go about 2 feet to my right. Naruto moved away from him by 2 feet. Alright, now you'll follow my every move. Look at how I do this kata and learn from it. Naruto stood still while Hiruzen did a taijutsu form. He went back to where he started and told Naruto to follow. Naruto did that very thing. He made a lot of mistakes and botched the kata, but Hiruzen was patient and worked with him. After doing forms for an hour and a half, Hiruzen started working on his control. He told Naruto to stand still and make sure that the leaf stayed on his forehead. It was hard for Naruto, who was always doing something. He never did like sitting still. The leaf kept falling over, which made Naruto very angry. Again, Hiruzen waited for him to get better. He even did this exercise with him and told him how it worked. 2 hours were spent on this activity. Then they went back into their forms. Naruto did the kata again. He still made mistakes, though not as many as before. Hiruzen did tell him when he made a mistake and tell him how each hit should be done. He even showed Naruto how to punch to get the best results. When he called for a break, it would be around noon. They sat down and rested under a tree. Hiruzen looked at Naruto and saw that he was finally too tired to keep fighting. Even so, he knew he'd be ready soon. Sometimes it stinks to get old. He believed. He faced Naruto. He asked Naruto, do you know why I'm training you? You want me to command the Kyuubi, right? Naruto said, part of it is so that you can take control of the Kyuubi, but that's not the only reason. When I send you to the Ninja Academy in 3 years, I want you to be ready. Most of your training will be in taijutsu, controlling your chakra, and tactics. If you do something unexpected, I might teach you 1 or 2 jutsus. Really? Naruto exclaimed. Calm down, Naruto. The techniques won't be that strong, but they'll be useful, and you'll have to work for them. I won't give you anything else unless you do something to deserve it. Do you get it? Hiruzen asked. Yes, sensei, I'll try to do what's right for you. He laughed and ruffled his hair. He now knew why Jiraiya liked to train people who worked hard. It was too easy to teach geniuses. He made a mistake when he put together his own team. Because Orochimaru was so good at what he did, he had ignored Jiraiya. Tsunade went into a field where he had no experience, so he let her do whatever she wanted. He let out a sigh and stood up. Break time is over, so let's get back to training for today. Since Naruto moved in with the Sarutobi family, 2 months would have passed. He had met the old man's daughter, Toshiko, and was glad that she didn't think of him like many other people did. At first, he thought it was because of the old man, but she took him aside and they talked. He was very happy to hear that she saw him as the hero the Yondaime wanted him to be. He was also close to Konohamaru, who was only 1 year old. Konohamaru liked Naruto because he had a mark on his whiskers. He knew the old man had a son, but the son wasn't in the village at the time. He had asked Toshiko about it, but she told him not to. When it came to training with the old man, it had been very hard and tiring. He was very strict, and people did what he told them to do. He remembered when he had been bad, so he made him clean the dog kennels for the Inuzuka by himself. Still, it was worth it because he started to understand. The forms were getting easier, and his muscles started to remember how to punch, kick, and block. He was getting better at the leaf exercise, but it was still very hard for him. Still, it did help him pay more attention. He was at the Hokage tower at the moment. The old man was sitting still and doing paperwork. Hiruzen had told him that this was a test of his ability to observe. He said that a good ninja looks at the situation and doesn't jump into something he doesn't know much about. He also said that many missions had failed because not enough information or observations were made. Naruto didn't like the exercise, but he did it because he was told to. The door suddenly opened, and a man was led in. By the look in his eyes, he was definitely a noble and definitely a Hyuga. He acted like a very important person in the world. Naruto only thought he was a snob. He just watched as he and the old man talked. He kept looking at everything around him, clearly bored. When he looked back at the noble, he noticed that his hands didn't look as delicate as those of other nobles. They looked stiff, and he had a small callus on one of his hands. As he looked at the man more, he noticed that he was always on guard, which was unusual for a noble. When the talk was done, the man bowed and walked out of the office. When he got out, Naruto went to Hiruzen. "Hey, sensei, is that guy a ninja?" he asked. "What makes you say that, Naruto?" "At first, I thought he was like all the other Hyugas I'd seen, but his hands look like they've been through a lot of training. Even though you had hidden the 4 masked guys, he still seemed guarded and on guard. He told us." "4? What makes you say that I have 4 masked guys in this office?" Hiruzen asked. "One is outside the window, another is hiding in a corner near the window, and 2 are guarding the door under what looks like a genjutsu." Hiruzen smiled at his student and thought he was very smart. "Very good, Naruto. That was a very good observation. Yes, that man was Hayashi Hyuga, who was the head of the Hyuga clan. He is one of the most powerful ninjas in the village. Most of the Hyuga nobles are ninjas, in fact." That really shocked Naruto. "Today, we're going to spar, and we're going to see how well this little exercise works." "Yes, sensei." Naruto and Hiruzen stood face to face. Naruto looked at the man who had been teaching him for the past 2 months. He watched as he put himself in a fighting position. Naruto stood in a similar way and looked carefully at his opponent. "Okay, he's a lot older than me, so he can't be faster than me. His posture is set up so that he can use his power. If I move quickly enough, I can win this fight." He believed. He asked Naruto, "Are you ready?" He said, "Yes," and got ready to charge. "Attack." Hiruzen gave the order, and Naruto left. Hiruzen threw a punch at him when he was close enough to hit. Naruto saw the punch coming from a mile away, so he moved to the left. He quickly hit back with a punch that would have landed. Naruto was surprised when Hiruzen blocked the punch and hit the blonde with a back fist. Naruto was thrown into the air by the blow, but he quickly got back on his feet. Hiruzen was on top of him, and his knee knocked the air out of his lungs. An elbow knocked him to the ground. Naruto struggled to stay on his feet as Hiruzen moved away. He waited until Naruto got his breath back and then sat up. "What happened to you now?" Hiruzen asked Naruto. "I didn't realize." "You, sensei," he said. "Why did you think less of me?" "I went with the fact that you were older and that your stance was made for power, not speed. I thought I could hit you if I moved fast enough. I kind of knew that. Naruto, I'm Hokage for a reason. Even though I'm old, I haven't lost my step. Also, I've fought in 3 wars, so I have a lot of experience. You need to learn that your first impressions aren't always right. In a fight, your first impressions can change in an instant, and if you're not ready for it, you will die. Do you understand, Naruto?" "I believe I do." Naruto gave a reply. "All right, let's go on. Don't rely on what you think you see at first. You have until dinner to get a hit," Hiruzen said. Naruto nodded and moved into his standing position. Hiruzen went along with him and told him to attack. Naruto came at him and fought him. Naruto never got a hit on the old man, but he did learn a lesson that would save his life later. Hiruzen stood on poles made of earth. He stood guard with a staff and waited for Naruto to attack. He looked all around him and saw that many copies of Naruto were standing around him with their staffs ready to attack. Naruto gave the order to attack and attacked. Hiruzen easily beat the first wave, but then he realized it was just a distraction. He blocked the attack that came from the smoke, then turned around and killed another clone. Naruto didn't give up. He kept attacking with the smoke and lashed out at Hiruzen. The old man easily blocked every attack, but he almost got hit from below. He grabbed the stick and pulled Naruto up. Once he was right in front of him, he kicked him into the end of a staff, which sent him away. He knew that more attacks were coming from below, so he jumped up. 2 Naruto were ready to attack him while he was still there. Both of them put their sticks on the old man's stick. Hiruzen felt a little pain, but he didn't think much about it as 2 more Naruto jumped at him to hit him in the stomach. Hiruzen turned his to get out of the rut he was in. He smashed his staff into one Naruto, who disappeared in a puff of smoke, and kicked the other Naruto, who also vanished. As he came down, he lifted his staff into the air. He got down to the ground and stuck the end of his staff into one of the earth's poles. A few more staffs shot up from the ground and hit the poles and clones, destroying them. When the dust settled, there was only his pole left. Naruto was trying to get out, but one of the poles had his shirt caught. Hiruzen took a few deep breaths and sat down on the pole. He smiled and looked at his student. "That time, he almost had you, Sarutobi. Maybe you are getting too old to fight with a child so young." Staff said so. "Maybe you're right, old friend, but these fights are fun for me. He's only 6, but he's already come so far." Hiruzen said. "I agree, he works as hard as his father did. The staff said. Hiruzen saw an eye appear and look at him. I've been meaning to ask, are you going to have him connect to the chakra of his tenant? I haven't found a way to do that is safe. I tried to meditate, and I was able to see into his mind for a short time. He can't really pay attention to it because he gets bored very quickly. Do you think he should even bother to try? It's not smart, but it has to be done. Even though I'm glad Juri's scan of the seal is good, he will have to figure out how to use that chakra at some point. Minato was a crafty man and didn't do things for no reason. That's right, Naruto said. He was able to get away, but he fell on his behind. It hurt him to hold it, which made Hiruzen and the staff laugh. Well, Sarutobi, if there's nothing else, I'll leave. If you do want him to sign the contract, please call me so we can work something out. Of course, Enma, I shall call you. Hiruzen replied, then bowed. The staff turned into a man-sized ape all of a sudden. The ape made a hand seal, and then he was gone. Hiruzen got up and jumped down from the pole to see how his student was doing. Naruto was now 7 years old, after another year had passed. He had become much better at taijutsu, tactics, and ninjutsu. He had taught the Henge no Jutsu and the Kawarami no Jutsu. Juri's scan showed that Naruto's coils were the biggest in the village and made more chakra than anyone else's. Sarutobi taught the boy the cage bunshin technique because he knew that this would be used to hold the boy back. It was perfect for him because he didn't think Naruto would get tired of using it. He thought that the boy should join the academy. But the council or the Uchiha clan didn't agree with that decision. They had called a meeting to talk about it right away. Hiruzen sat down with the older people and told everyone to sit down. It has come to my attention that there is a problem with Naruto Uzumaki joining the academy. Hiruzen said, yes, I think it's wrong that he's going to the academy. He has had special training and will be further along than the other students. Fugaku stated, Uchiha-san, do you want to explain that? I know that you taught the boy cage bunshin jutsu because I heard it from a reliable source. Fugaku explained. That made Hiruzen think that something was wrong. Uchiha, have you been following me and my family? That might count as treason. Hiruzen spat. No, I didn't say that. What you have taught the boy has been told to me by my sources. It is a B-rank kenjutsu that shouldn't have been taught to a 6-year-old. Fugaku argued. Is this really Hiruzen? Hamura asked. Yes, I did show the boy how to do it, but it was a good reason for me to. Hiruzen stated. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama, but I don't see why you should show a 6-year-old a kenjutsu. Shibai said. Yes, I do. Why did you teach him this kind of jutsu? Inoichi asked. I'm going to assume you've all read Juri's report on the seal, right? He got several nods. If you had kept reading, you would have found out that Naruto has the biggest chakra coils in the village. Minato's seal lets the Kyuubi's chakra leak into Naruto's chakra network, so Naruto's coils were changed to deal with the other source of chakra. Even if he learned how to control his chakra, he couldn't do regular bunshin jutsu. I taught him the Kainabori no Shujio during our training, but he still couldn't control his chakra enough to do the bunshin. Still, that's a dangerous way for a child to play. It was a very bad move on your part, Hokage-sama. What Hayashi said. Hiruzen knew he wasn't really on Fugaku's side, but he wanted to make a point. He gave the council a smile, which made them nervous. Then he asked them, would you like a demonstration to put your minds at ease? Before they turned their attention back to Hiruzen, they mumbled and murmured. What do you mean? Asked Fugaku. Come to the stadium tomorrow, and all your worries and questions will be answered. Believe me, you won't be let down. Naruto was on his way to Ikaraku's house for a party, and he was in a good mood. As a reward for his good work today, he got a lot of money. Even though he didn't know why the council was there, he guessed that they were planning another scam. He could tell everything from how the leader of the Uchiha clan and a few other council members looked. He was now on his way to a party. He turned around and saw smoke coming from somewhere else. He went there because he was interested. When he got there, a big house was on fire. When he heard 2 people screaming, he turned to go get help. He didn't know what to do because he knew he should go get help, but by the time he got there, everyone would be dead. Having made up his mind, Naruto ran into the burning house. He put his hand over his mouth and kept his head down so he wouldn't breathe in smoke. He moved quickly toward the sound of screams. When he got to a room, he kicked down the door and saw 2 people hugging. Naruto saw that they didn't have much time when he looked at them. He made several copies of himself and took something out of his pocket. Several Konoha ninja tried to get into the house from the outside. A little girl who was 9 years old tried to get into the house, but her uncle stopped her. The front of the house was blown off by a sudden explosion. Before the fire could burn down the house, Naruto and 2 of his clones ran out of it. The 2 people were put on the ground by Naruto and his clones. The Konoha ninja went right away to see what was going on with the 2 people Naruto brought out. The clones were destroyed, and Naruto took a few more steps before he fell to the ground. When Naruto woke up, the ceiling was white. He groaned and put his hands over his eyes to block out the bright light. I can't keep getting here, he sighed. I agree with you 100%. Naruto turned around to look at the Hokage. He was also with another man. I remember you because you were there. Naruto said, yes, my name is Unkai Kurama, and on behalf of the Kurama clan, I want to thank you for your brave efforts. You saved the lives of my brother and sister-in-law, Unkai said and bowed to Naruto. The blonde smiled when she heard that. Were you able to put out that fire? Naruto asked. Both men gave nervous glances to each other. What? Nothing for now. Get better and we'll talk about it. I promise to let you know what's going on, Hiruzen said. He and Unkai left Naruto alone to get better. Please, Naruto, come in here, Hiruzen shouted. Naruto went into Hiruzen's room, which was where he did his calligraphy. He was wearing the gi he had used to train him. Naruto sat down in front of him and waited for him to talk. He sighed and turned to face him. First of all, I want to tell you how proud I am of you. Even though you did something without thinking, it saved the lives of 2 people. But there are some things about that fire that you need to know. The first thing is that it wasn't real, it was a genjutsu. Naruto was surprised. Are you sure, sensei? The flames looked and felt very real. I've got the scars to show it, Naruto said. Remember seeing that man before? The question got a nod from Naruto. That man belongs to a small group of people called the Kurama clan. Some of the best genjutsu users belong to this clan. They are very good at what they do, but once in every generation, there is a Kurama who is so skilled that they can hurt their opponent physically. Naruto looked shocked and surprised. Hiruzen went on with his talk. There is a Kurama with such a skill right now. What will become of that Kurama? Naruto asked. At first, I had a tutor try to help the person control their ability, but it turned out that the tutor couldn't do it. When I thought she would be a threat, I had that tutor seal her power, but their power broke the seal and let out its fury. Hiruzen told him. You act like this power has its own mind. Unkai told me that the power takes the shape of someone else. If the Kurama can't control this persona, the persona will take over. Hiruzen added. So tell me, sensei, why? The girl, Yakumo, has been telling the clan very loudly that I started the fire. The clan knows that's not true, but she is sure that I and her teacher, Kurenai Yuhai, planned it all. She probably heard what Kurenai and I were talking about and got it wrong. Now I have a choice to make. Unkai and the rest of the clan want me to kill her. Her parents don't want to do this, and they are even willing to leave Hai no Kuni with her. Because of what our enemies will do, I can't do that. I ask you, my student, because you wish to be Hokage, and a Hokage must make a choice of such difficulty. Consider it a test, Hiruzen said. Naruto looked at him and saw how serious he was. No, I'm not going to kill her. She didn't do anything wrong to get such a gift, that's just how things work. I do think that a stronger seal is needed, but this seal shouldn't be used unless she gives her permission to do so. I know how it feels to not know why things happen. I would sit down with her and her family, explain what they had gotten wrong, and tell them about my plan. It's a good plan, but what's to stop her second persona from breaking the next seal? Hiruzen asked. Then I'd suggest a better seal master, one who has worked with seals for years. Naruto replied. Do you really think that having experience is important? Yes, because a seal master with experience can learn from the first seal's mistakes and make it better. Why don't you just use the stronger seal and lock her up? Her parents won't allow it. If you try to shut them up, she'll be even more angry at you, Yuhai-san, and everyone else in Konoha. Hiruzen took a close look at his student. Naruto did not waver under his gaze. He gave him a smile. Your answer was satisfactory, but you could have been a little more convincing. Hiruzen stood up, and then Naruto did the same. Hiruzen led the blonde back to his room. After 2 weeks, Naruto was standing in front of the gates to the academy. He was wearing black pants, a dark orange and blue kimono with a mesh shirt underneath, black sandals, and arm guards. He had a small ponytail in the back of his head as he allowed his hair to grow out some. He was a little scared to be here because he knew some of the teachers would be looking for him. When a hand hit him on the head, he looked up and saw Sandame. He smiled and moved forward as the wise old man pushed him. Naruto groaned and got into line with the other. After a while, one of the teachers walked up to the front of the group and stood there. He wore the standard outfit of a chunin. His hair was tied and had a scar running across his nose. Hello, I'm Aruka Yumino, and I'll be your teacher. I'd like to welcome you to the school, he said. Naruto wondered what the next 4 years were going to be like. Naruto sat near the back of the crowd and waited for the games to start. As he walked into the building, he saw the teachers looking at him. He tried to ignore it as much as possible, but he was still worried about what they were planning. He started to wonder who would teach him for the next 5 years. The door opened, and the teacher from early came in. He remembered that his name was Aruka. Alright, class, let's calm down, he said. Still, the class was a bit rowdy. Class, they still didn't listen to. Iruka took a big sigh. He screamed, "Sit down and shut the hell up." The class stopped talking right away and started to wonder how he did that with his head. After she got their attention, Iruka went back to being herself. Iruka called out each name on his list and said, "Listen for your name." When he got to Naruto's name, he stopped for a moment. Iruka knew who he was and treated him without bias. His parents died fighting the Kyuubi, which made him hate the demon. He knew Naruto wasn't the Kyuubi, but that didn't stop him from being angry. Still, he was a teacher, and when it came to him, he wouldn't go along with the crowd. He would still be fair and just wait and see what happened. "Alright, let's start with a little history." Iruka said it, which made some people grunt. "My first question is, what two clans started Konohagakure no Sado?" He looked around, and Naruto caught his attention. "Uzumaki, give me an answer." Naruto stood and turned to face him. "The Senju clan, led by Hashirama Senju, and the Uchiha clan, led by Madara Uchiha, discovered Konohagakure no Sado." Naruto talked back. "Good, Uzumaki, you can sit down," Iruka said. Iruka kept teaching while Naruto sat down. Naruto and everyone else stood outside. There were 5 lines of them, and each line faced a wooden target. 5 bullseyes were on each target. As everyone threw their shurikens, Naruto watched. Some of them were really bad, but others were okay. This one girl was amazing because she was right on target every time. When she graduated, she would be very scary. He stood in line because it was his turn. The guy watching his line gave him a dirty look, but he quickly changed his expression and gave him some shuriken. Naruto saw the light and realized that these shuriken were different. He took a deep breath and looked at the target. In a matter of seconds, 8 shuriken hit each target. It wasn't perfect, but it was close enough. The instructor was surprised that those shuriken got to the dummy. He frowned, but Naruto had already moved to the end of the line. As the instructor hit him, Naruto dodged and moved around. He heard Iruka tell the guy to calm down, but he didn't listen and kept hitting him. He realized he was getting tired, so he stopped dodging. The teacher fell to the ground when Naruto's fist hit him in the stomach. As Iruka walked up to him, the teacher took deep breaths. "Uzumaki, we were fighting. He didn't need to be hit that hard." Iruka cried out. "Sorry, sensei, I didn't keep my strength in check." Naruto apologized. "I won't take points away this time, but you'll have to control your strength when sparring in the future." Iruka gave an order. "Hi, sensei." Naruto stepped out of the circle while Iruka checked on his fellow teacher. Naruto walked out of the academy and saw the parents staring at him as they picked up their kids. He didn't think anyone would show up because he knew the Hokage would be busy. As he went back to the Sarutobi compound, he sighed. Someone called out Naruto. Naruto kept looking around until he saw Toshiko. She was with Konohamaru and with a man with a beard. "What are you doing here, Toshiko-san?" Naruto was surprised and asked. "Now, what is up with that? I picked you up after your first day of school." Toshiko smiled and said. Naruto was surprised at first, but that quickly turned into a smile. He turned around and looked at the man with the beard. The man turned around and looked back at him, but he didn't say anything. He put a cigarette in his mouth, but Toshiko quickly took it away. "I told you not to do that when I or Konohamaru are around. Stop being rude and say who you are." He complained, but he did what he was told. "This is Asuma." He said hi. Naruto was surprised and looked at him. "I thought you were still there. Is it a good idea for one of the Shugenin Janishi to be away from the daimyo?" Naruto asked. "That's strange. How did you know that I was a part of the group?" "Well, the sash says it all," Naruto stated, simply making Toshiko giggle. "But to answer your question better, the old man told me that you had joined the group. But he says this with sadness. I haven't been able to figure out why." Naruto gave a reason. "I can tell that he has been teaching you how to observe. Let's get going," Asuma said and began to walk away. Toshiko sighed and told Naruto, who looked confused, to follow her. Asuma stood on the balcony of the Sarutobi house. He looked up at the night sky and saw the full moon shining brightly. He took a drag on his cigarette and blew the smoke out. "I see that you found where I smoke." Asuma didn't turn around to face his father. Instead, he kept looking at the moon. Hiruzen didn't think it was rude that his son was acting that way. They have always had problems with each other. Asuma finally spoke after a few minutes. "I wasn't expecting you to take a student. Don't you think you're too old to chase a 7-year-old around?" He asked. "Maybe, but I feel happy when I'm teaching him." Hiruzen answered, "Making up for a mistake you made a long time ago." "Yes, but not from that point on. I promised Minato that I would look out for him. 2 years ago, I failed, and I won't do it again. Why did I come back, old man? You asked the daimyo to let me go off duty, so he did." Asuma finally turned around to look at Hiruzen and asked. Hiruzen said, "I've heard about the coup. I could have gotten through it. I don't care what people say about me. I'm no traitor. He told us. I know you're not a traitor, but people at the capital think you are. People worry about you when you're around. Kairaku has already left, and she is doing well at the Fire Temple. Dad, I don't want to be here, Asuma stated. I know you don't care, son, but I need you here. Hiruzen told him and then walked away. Asuma looked back at the moon and sighed. His life had just gotten harder. Naruto had been at the academy for 3 weeks when he started to get the hang of things. Still, the teachers picked on him, and the other kids either avoided him or tried to pick on him. The only good thing was that Iruka treated him fairly and was honestly impressed with him. He didn't pick on him like the others did, and he talked to him. Even a bowl of ramen was eaten together. His did make one friend. Rock Lee was his name. The other kids made fun of him because he could only do taijutsu. He talked to Naruto, who told him that those idiots didn't know anything. They would fight each other and get better at their positions and attacks. He didn't know where he stood in the class, but he thought he was at least in the middle. Iruka entered and called for order. After yelling at them 3 times, the class did what he said. Today, a new student will be joining our class. He looked at the door, and as he did, a girl walked in. She was wearing a purple and lavender top with one sleeve and a skirt that went with it. She had long brown hair and eyes that were light brown. Tell the class who you are, Iruka said. My name is Yakumo Kurama. I am 9 years old and part of the Kurama family. I like to paint and work in my garden. My goal in life is to control the Kekkei Genkai of my clan, become head of my clan, and be the best Genjutsu user there is. Yakumo said hello. When Naruto saw who this girl was, he was surprised. He hadn't heard the name Kurama in a while. In reality, they had been keeping to themselves a lot lately. Naruto didn't know that the Kurama clan stopped a couple of problems as a way of thanking him for saving the clan leader and his wife. Iruka told her to sit down, and she moved toward a chair. Yakumo looked at Naruto before going to her seat. He didn't know what the look was for, but he ignored it and started to focus on Iruka. When it was time for lunch, Naruto was back alone with his ramen. He thanked the gods that Toshiko didn't follow the old man's rules about what to eat. All of a sudden, he felt a shadow over him. He sighed and looked up, but when he saw Yakumo, he was surprised. Is Naruto Uzumaki your name? She asked. Yeah, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Kurama-san, is there something I can do to help you? Naruto asked. She bowed to him, and he looked on. Thank you a lot for giving me a second chance, she told me. Naruto looked confused. I might need to explain. It's this way. Flashback. Hiruzen stood still, and Kurenai stood to his left. He faced Yakumo, Nurakumo, Yuroko, and Unkai Kurama. Yakumo gave both the Sandaime and the Kurenai a hard look. Even though her mother and father told her everything, she was still mad at them. Kurenai didn't trust her, and Hiruzen told her to do something she didn't want to. Now that you've told me everything, I have a question for you, Yakumo. You still want to be a ninja, right? Hiruzen asked. Yakumo was wary as he looked at the Sandaime. He kept talking with a smile. Even though your daughter is weak now, she can get stronger with the right training. But her ability to lament is a problem. With your permission, I'd like to suggest the seal of Yakumo's Kekkei Genkai. I'll have my student do the sealing, since the one I put on you before didn't work. So you will send for Jiraiya-sama. Asked Yuroko. Yes, I want Yakumo to go to the academy to learn when the sealing is done. I can assure you that we have some of the best teachers who can help young Yakumo. You're going to watch me, right? Yakumo said. Her father looked at her, but Hiruzen held out his hand. If that's how you want to say it, then yes. Yakumo, you need to realize that your power is very dangerous. If it weren't for my student, I would put you in jail and have the ANBU watch you all the time, he said, making Yakumo gulp. Now, I've decided that the Kurama clan is very important to Konoha, and that it won't do for you to be mad at Konoha. So, if you still want to be, you'll be enrolled in the academy. As for your Genjutsu, Kurenai. No, I don't want to learn from her, Yakumo stated. Kurenai didn't say anything, but she looked unhappy. Unkai said, I'll show her. Brother, murmured Nirakumo. I don't agree with this choice at all, but I do care about Yakumo. I'll teach her the way of the Kurama clan and be her teacher, he told us. Good, I'll call Jiraiya right away. Hiruzen smiled and said, Present, I don't know what you told the Hokage, but thank you, and the Kurama clan will always be your friend, Yakumo said and bowed. Naruto smiled, but there was a drop of sweat on the back of his head. Hiruzen watched from his office using his crystal ball. He thought it was too funny that Naruto was so nervous. The boy had just taken his first step into politics and he didn't even know it. Jacken had many identities. He was older than the other students, bigger and stronger than the other students, and he was mean to many of them. It was just something he liked to do from time to time. but he knew who to mess with and how to make sure he didn't get caught. He decided that Naruto Uzumaki would be his next target. He didn't really care that the teachers were staring at him or that his drunkard of a father told him to mess with him at every turn. As long as he wasn't getting in trouble, who was he to say no? The thing was that when he messed with Naruto, he didn't do anything. He either didn't care about him or just ignored him. It made him so mad that he almost hit him, and if Iruka hadn't been there, he would have. The new student had just started a week ago. Since they were such good friends, he finally got something. Naruto and Yakumo were having lunch together when a shadow fell over them both. He sighed and turned around to look at Jacken. Well, if it's not the Tyke, and it looks like you've finally made a friend. Jacken mocked. Hello again, Jacken. What do you want now? Naruto said. You know this man, Naruto-san. Yakumo asked. Why is she treating you so well, demon? Naruto-san. Jacken asked. Excuse me, but what the hell are you doing that's making us mad? You might want to leave us and go roll in the mud. Yakumo cried out. What did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were also dumb and slow. Jacken was so angry that he cocked his fist back. He threw it with the intention of hitting the girl in the face, but he was suddenly in the air. He hit the ground hard, and Naruto held his arm still while twisting his wrist. This hurt. Listen, Jacken, you may be a bully to me, but if you attack one of my friends, everything changes. If you do it again, I'll do much worse things to you. Naruto said coldly. Why, you little shit, growled Jacken. Enough already, both of you. Iruka exclaimed. Jacken got up after Naruto set him free. He gave the two people standing in front of him a dangerous look. I see that you haven't been listened, Jacken. What? But I didn't do anything. He screamed. I saw the whole show. I think we should talk after class with your dad and me. Iruka found out. Jacken jerked back, but he glared at Naruto even harder. Uzumaki, you can be sure this isn't over yet. Jacken growled. Jacken was dragged away by Iruka. Naruto just sighed because his days at the academy were getting harder and harder. Hiruzen waited until Naruto got home from school. He needed to give his student another assignment. He was very proud of him, but he thought that he was still a bit too quick. The fight from yesterday showed that he still doesn't think before he does something. He taught him not only how to protect himself, but also how to be a full-fledged ninja. Hiruzen heard the footsteps running to the balcony. Naruto rushed out in his training clothes and was waiting for the training exercise. Naruto was surprised to see the old man still in his Hokage clothes. Sensei, aren't we going to start training now? Naruto asked. We sure are. Naruto, sit down. Hiruzen ordered. Naruto waited for him by sitting down in front of him. I'm very happy with how far you've come recently. You're getting better at controlling your chakra, taijutsu, bujutsu, and observing. Thank you, Sensei. But I'm very disappointed by the way you're doing things. I do agree that you are very good at coming up with plans on the spot, which is useful. Still, you need to get much better at planning your moves. So here's a new exercise. You're looking at a shogi board. This is a way for many warriors and generals to plan. Hiruzen said. This is a game, right? Naruto asked. Yes, but it will teach you to be more patient and give you better strategies. I'll show you how to play and how to use each piece. Then we'll play a game, and your goal is to win. Do you understand? Hi, Sensei. Hiruzen just smiled as he taught his student how to play the game shogi. Hiruzen did his best not to laugh at his student. He saw Naruto looking at the board while he was sweating and racking his brain. Hiruzen wasn't too surprised that he hadn't been forced to beat him with the Egura Gakoi. Naruto moved, but he was very hesitant to do so. After it was done, Hiruzen went to Naruto's home turf. The young blonde boy complained and scratched his head. I think I'm done for the day, Hiruzen said in amusement. No, I'm not finished yet. One more game, Naruto exclaimed. Know when to stop watching Naruto. I've been playing this game for a long time, so I'm very good at it. You can't always expect to win, Hiruzen said calmly. Yes, Sensei, Naruto muttered. Hiruzen laughed and ran his hand through Naruto's hair. I want you to remember and analyze your performance today. We'll play this once a week to see how much you've learned. Hiruzen led Naruto into the compound, and Naruto nodded as he went. Lee and Yakumo were worried about their friend. He was muttering to himself and scribbling down stuff. Yakumo recognized the doodles as a shogi board. What are you doing? She asked. I need to find out where I went wrong. Naruto talked back. Lee and Yakumo didn't understand, so Naruto went on to explain. The old man is putting me to the test by making me play shogi. I don't find it interesting that it's about strategies and patience. I would think that a Kage student would be smarter than this, a voice said. All three of them turned to see several girls following a boy. Naruto saw that Yakumo was staring at him. He didn't know why. What would you be? Naruto asked. His name is Hyuga Neji. He is also known as the Hyuga Prodigy, and he could be the Rookie of the Year for this year. Yakumo said coldly. Is that your boyfriend? Naruto joked. When she looked at him, Naruto ducked behind Lee. She turned back to Neji. What do you want, Hyuga? Yakumo asked hotly. They came to find out why the Hokage would bother with someone like that, he said. He looked in Naruto's direction. Nothing about him stands out to me. His future is doomed to fail. Yakumo gave Lee a dirty look, and even Lee looked angry. Naruto looked at Neji with a calculating gaze. I had no idea that the Hyuga clan could do that. So, Neji, you can see into the future? Naruto asked. Neji was surprised by that question because he thought he would turn as red as his two friends. Still, he kept his cool expression. These eyes can see deep within your soul. Because of this, the Hyuga are the strongest clan in Konoha, Neji stated. I think the Uchiha would dispute that, but who am I to judge? Sorry to cut you off, but you just said that your Kekkei Genkai can see what will happen to me in the future, Naruto said. Everyone is born with a fate that can't be changed. It's not something they can change or fight against. We all have to give in to that fate and accept it. You could train with the Sandaime, but even if you did, you wouldn't be any better than average, Neji told us. Are you saying this because you belong to the Hyuga branch house? Naruto asked. Neji kept his stoic look. The head wrap is a giveaway. Some branch house members I've met seem to hide the fact that they live there. Besides, I think that you're a bit off. Oh, what's behind that? Neji was interested. You say that we are born with an unchangeable destiny, but I do not believe that. If that were true, I would have died. My friend Lee would have quit a long time ago because of his condition, and Yakumo would have been locked up somewhere. Still, we're here and making our dreams come true. I'll become Hokage. Lee will be a very skilled ninja even though he doesn't know Genjutsu or Ninjutsu, and Yakumo will be the best Genjutsu user in the world. We decide our own fate. It's not a done deal. Naruto gave a reason. You talk about being Hokage, but all of the Hokages were great ninjas, while you would be just average. Neji said, maybe, but every Hokage started out just okay before becoming great. You are very smart, so maybe you could become Hokage. Naruto asked, that is not meant to happen to me. I am a caged bird, trapped within the clan. All I am meant to do is serve the Hyuga. Neji said, well, your eyes were right, I'll just be a normal ninja. If that's the case, I'll strive to be better and become greater than the previous Hokages. I think that is my fate. Neji looked at Naruto, but Naruto didn't move when he looked at him. It had interested him some. It seems that we have a difference in opinion. I thought you would say something very different. Neji admitted. Well, it's not all bad to train with the old man, Naruto said with a large grin. Neji gave them a smirk and walked away. Yakumo looked at Naruto in amazement. I don't think it's true. You even held your own in a battle of words with Neji. When he starts talking about fate and destiny, I've never seen him back down, Yakumo exclaimed. Lee praised Naruto, but all he did was scratch his head. The next 2 weeks left the young Uzumaki was racking his brain. He was getting a little better at shogi against Hiruzen, but he could still beat him. It was as if that board was mocking him. The old man just kept telling him that this was a lesson in patience, but the game was so boring and too hard. What the hell did patience have to do with being a ninja or Hokage? He took a few deep breaths and then went back to looking up his matches. His research was cut short as he heard the sound of something flying through the air. When 3 shurikens hit the tree he was leaning against, he rolled out of the way. He turned and saw Jacken. He hadn't seen Jacken in a long time, and he had no idea why the hell he was here. When he turned around and looked back at the tree, he saw that the shurikens were real. What the heck, dude? I could have died from those. Naruto shouted. Pipsqueak, what do you think I'm doing? I can't stand seeing your face anymore. Everyone in the village seems to hate you, so it's not like I'll get in trouble anyway. They'll be getting a favor from me. Jacken snarled. Naruto wasn't too surprised about him knowing how the village treated him, but he was suspicious of his reasons to kill him. There was no way he knew about the Kyuubi. No one in the village would have taken a chance on dying for sure. Jacken threw some more shuriken at Naruto. Naruto jumped out of the way and into the forest area. Where are you going, Pipsqueak? Jacken yelled, and he and Naruto went into the forest together. Naruto looked back to see Jacken tossing shuriken at him, but he stayed very far in front and near the trunk of the tree. Naruto saw that Jacken was full of shuriken pouches, so there was no way he could last longer than him. He remembered something about this forest all of a sudden. Naruto pushed himself off the tree and shot off to the left. Jacken followed him and continued his attack. Naruto quickly turned around and made his way back. Jacken was on him and threw some more shuriken. Naruto moved around and avoided things until he found what he was looking for. Naruto quickly jumped toward the ground with Jacken following. 5 shuriken thrown by the crazy kid hit Naruto in the back. Jacken smiled, but Naruto suddenly disappeared in a puff of smoke. "What the?" asked Jacken in surprise. "Jacken," Naruto called out. When Jacken turned around, Naruto's staff hit him in the face. Jacken fell hard to the ground and skidded toward the fence where Naruto was going. As Jacken rolled around in pain, Naruto landed and watched. The blow was not that hard, so Naruto was confused by his pain. Also, why did Jacken have his arms crossed? He watched as Jacken tried to get up but couldn't. "Okay, Jacken, you have to answer some questions. Why are you trying so hard to kill me? I haven't done anything to deserve this," Naruto said. "You're to blame. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't hurt as much." Jacken gasped. "What do you want to say? I haven't seen you in 2.5 weeks, and all I did was bend your wrist. The next day, you would have been fine," Naruto said. He watched as Jacken reached for his weapons. "This isn't something you thought up, is it? For whom do you work? I won't tell you anything. Uzumaki, I'm going to kill you," Jacken called out. "Unfortunately, that won't be possible," a voice said. People with masks on their faces surrounded Jacken and Naruto all of a sudden. "Lay down your weapons and put your hand up," a large man with a bear mask said. Naruto gave in right away and put down his staff. Jacken saw this as a chance and went to get some shuriken. The people with masks were much faster, so it was easy for them to beat Jacken. As they put him on the ground, he screamed in pain. The leader saw that he had blood in his cough. "What do you have in mind? Why are you treating him so roughly? We made quick work of him. We didn't hit him or anything like that." Who was very worried, the ninja said. "I think he was already hurt, sir. When he tried to hurt me, I hit him toward the ground to defend myself. He was in a lot of pain and holding his sides," Naruto was told. "Uzumaki, shut the hell up," Jacken shouted. The man in the bear mask watched and then decided to find out what was going on. "Take him to the hospital, and if he fights, knock him out." "Uzumaki, now is the time to explain. If I remember right, you can't get within 100 feet of an ANBU facility," he said. Naruto just chuckled sheepishly. Hiruzen sat down and waited for Hamura and Koharu to give their reports. One was the captain of the ANBU team that found the boys, and the other was the head doctor at the hospital. He first looked at the ANBU captain. "What news do you have?" Hiruzen asked. The truth was being told by the young Uzumaki. "This Jacken kid attacked him. We found where the battle started, and Uzumaki must have known that one of our facilities was in the area. Naruto probably drew him to that spot, knowing from his last trick that we have sensors there," the captain of the ANBU reported. Hiruzen nodded and turned to face the medic. Naruto was right about how hurt Jacken was. "I know for sure that they weren't caused by Naruto's staff. Naruto got a small bruise on the side of his face, but that was all. On his chest, stomach, and back, Jacken has a lot of bruises. There was some light bleeding inside, but it was easy to stop. We also discovered that this is not the first time. All of Jacken's bones had been broken before, which we could see. In the end, we think that he has been abused a lot and very often," the chief doctor said. Hiruzen frowned and wasn't happy about the report. He looked at the captain of the ANBU. "Bring Jacken's father in and have Ibiki talk to him," Hiruzen said. "Isn't that a bit extreme?" asked Koharu. "Extremely, but if this boy is being abused this much, his father needs to be questioned," Hamura told him. The ANBU captain left after Hiruzen gave him a nod. "Don't let the boy leave the hospital until his wounds have healed. I'll go see him myself, and we'll find out what's going on," Hiruzen said. The head doctor bowed and left. He turned to his advisors. "What do you think?" "Well, this boy has nothing to do with this, as far as we can tell," Koharu said. "You think the father had something to do with this?" Hiruzen asked. "Perhaps we should have Inoichi look through his mind and find out," Hamura suggested. "That's what I think needs to be done," Hiruzen agreed. Koharu seemed worried about taking such a step. "We can't do anything else. If this boy has been abused for so long, he will try to keep it a secret. We need to find out how long this has been happening and fix it." "What good is it if you can't fix it?" Koharu asked. "Then Jacken will be removed from the program. We do not need such instability within the ranks," Hiruzen said. Hamura nodded, as did Koharu. Slowly, Jacken opened his eyes and looked around him. He didn't know the room, and it smelled strange. It didn't smell like sake or rotting garbage. He moaned and scratched his head with his arm. That's when he looked at his arm and saw the bandages. He kept looking, and then he saw that his whole body was wrapped in bandages. "That son of a whore would never do this," they said. He believed. "It's finally your turn." Jacken turned suddenly to see someone. Someone from the ANBU Black Ops did it. He could tell by the voice that it was a woman. She put on a mask of a cat. She turned towards the door and spoke to someone. She went back to caring for him. "Who am I?" Jacken asked. "You're at Konoha Hospital. Your cuts and breaks have been fixed by the doctors," she replied. He asked, am I in trouble? You tried to kill one of your friends. You should be in the part of a NBU headquarters that is for hospitals. But the Sandame wants to talk to you in person. She spoke back. When the door opened, Hiruzen came in. The ANBU member gave him a bow. Thank you, Nico. Please leave us alone for a minute. Hiruzen ordered. Hi Sandame-sama, Nico said and left. The door shut, and Jacken found himself facing the Hokage. As the ninja leader sat down, he noticed the file in his hand. Hiruzen opened the file and started to read from it out loud. Jacken Watanabe, age 9. Shinichi Watanabe's father is a former Konoha genin named Shinichi Watanabe. His mother's name is unknown. You failed one of the genin tests because you weren't at the academy on that day. Known for making trouble and being mean, only Tenten Kagachi is better at both taijutsu and weapons. Hiruzen read the file and then shut it. He looked at Jacken, who took a breath when he did. I will ask you some questions. Depending on how you answer, I'll know what your punishment will be. Do you understand? Yes, Hokage-sama, Jacken said. How did you get those wounds? Hiruzen asked. My injuries happened because I trained, he said. Hiruzen smirked at him. You shouldn't worry too much about what will happen to you. I know you're making things up. Your father's apartment has been searched by my ANBU. Your father is also being held, and one of my best ninjas has already questioned him. I know about the mistreatment. Hiruzen found out. I apologize, Hokage-sama, Jacken said. Why did you attack Naruto Uzumaki? My dad told me to do it. Why? 2.5 weeks ago, when I was picking on one of Naruto's friends, he stopped me. Iruka rang up my dad. He was furious that he was called down to the academy for this reason. Still, he went crazy when he found out that Naruto stopped me. I couldn't move after he hit me so hard. He kicked me out and said I couldn't come back until I killed Naruto. Jacken explained. Hiruzen didn't like that. Why didn't you tell your teachers about the abuse? Hiruzen asked. Jacken thought for a second, then sighed and answered. He's all I've got. I have no idea who my mother is. That drunk only told me that she was a prostitute and that she was getting even with him for making her pregnant. I knew he didn't love me and that he wouldn't care if I died, but he was the only person I had. When Hiruzen saw the boy in front of him, he felt sorry for him. I feel bad for you, son, but you tried to kill a boy that I take care of. Jacken was afraid for his life all of a sudden. You can choose between two things. The first choice is to spend a year in an ANBU jail. You will be watched by an ANBU agent for a year after you get out of jail. If you stay out of trouble, I'll try to get you back into the ninja program. A trail is the second option. If you are found guilty, you will spend 15 years in the boiling rock. What choice will you make? Hiruzen asked. Jacken was considering the choice he had to make. The boiling rock was the most dangerous prison in Konoha. There, only the most mean and crazy people went. He just needed to know something before making his decision. What's going to happen to my dad? He asked. Your father has been found guilty of abusing children and putting them in danger without thinking. He won't get out of prison for a long time, Hiruzen said. The ghost of a smile was on Jacken's face. I choose option 1, Hokage-sama, Jacken said. That is a very smart decision. Nico, Hiruzen spoke up. When Nico walked into the room, he got down on one knee. Sir, send Jacken to the medical wing of the ANBU. Once he is well again, put him in a cell for a year, Hiruzen ordered. That will happen, she told me. Hiruzen left, and Nico started getting ready to move the new prisoner. So Jacken had been abused his whole life, and his father wanted me to die. As they played another game of shogi, Naruto asked Hiruzen. The old cage didn't take his eyes off the board as he nodded. He's going to prison for a while, right? Hiruzen gave another nod, which made Naruto pout. Hiruzen made a funny face at the boy. I appreciate that you're trying to distract me, but it won't work. Pay attention to the board, Hiruzen ordered. Naruto grumbled and looked at the board for a while. A year went by, and Naruto grew up by 1 year. He had learned a lot from his training with the old man. He was getting better and better at playing the bow. He even used his bow skills and taijutsu together, which made Hiruzen take him a little more seriously. He had better control over his chakra, and he could climb a tree 3 times without losing control. He wasn't quite there yet when it came to the tactical part of his training, but he was getting there. He still didn't know how to beat the old man at shogi, but he would figure it out. He had also gotten another jutsu by working hard. Shin Zanchu no Jutsu was the name of the technique. It was a technique based on the earth that let him go underground and catch someone there. It was a great way to do it. Too bad Iruka didn't appreciate it like he did. Hiruzen wouldn't teach him another technique because it made him unhappy. His relationship with Yakumo and Lee kept getting better. The three were very close friends who were rarely seen apart. Lee's taijutsu had improved, and he wasn't too far behind Naruto. Yakumo was very good at Jinjutsu, and her family taught her some self-defense moves. One more person was added to the group. Her name was Tenten Kagachi. She joined the group after seeing Neji and Naruto argue with each other. She thought the group was very interesting, so she joined and stayed with them. Neji and Naruto had a friendly kind of competition with each other. They fought and sparred just like everyone else, but their verbal battles were some of the most intense things anyone had ever seen. Neji still thought that everyone's future was predetermined. Naruto thought that each person made his or her own fate. No one really won because neither side was able to convince the other. Still, Naruto did say to Neji that he liked their small fights. Neji didn't tell Naruto that he liked the talks, but he did admit that he did. Naruto was glad that he was getting stronger as the year went on. For once, things went well in his life. But what happens tonight will shake him to his core. He would have to be ready for what was coming. He woke up in the middle of the night. He rubbed his eyes, then looked out his window. Even though it was still very dark, he was actually starting to wake up. He got up from his bed and went to the kitchen. He went to the fridge to get some milk for him. He put some in a metal pot and turned on the stove's fire. He waited until he saw little bubbles. He turned off the stove and put the milk in a glass. He took only a few gulps of the warm milk. He put the glass in the sink and headed back to his room. As he was walking back, he saw something on the balcony. He was interested, so he went over to the balcony to see what was going on. He was close enough to make out the old man's face. He was wearing his Hokage clothes and had his back to him. He also noticed another person. He looked like a member of a NBU's Black Ops team. What was one of them doing here at this time of night? He tried to get closer to them so he could hear what they were saying, but Hiruzen's voice stopped him. "Naruto, why are you up this early?" Hiruzen spoke like he was an expert. Naruto jumped to his feet. "Sorry sensei, I woke up. I drank some hot milk and then went back to bed." Naruto quickly answered. "Naruto, go to bed. We'll talk in the morning," Hiruzen ordered in a more gentle tone. "Hi sensei." Naruto turned around quickly and headed for his room. When he knew Naruto was back in his room, the ANBU member went up against Hiruzen again. "Hokage-sama, he's grown up," a member of a NBU said. "Yes, I'm very happy with how he's doing," Hiruzen said. After being quiet for a while, Hiruzen sighed. "I'm sorry about what you had to do. I tried to find a peaceful solution." "Sir, I'm aware of that, but this had to be done. My dad was a stubborn and dumb person. If he and his clan hadn't done what they did, there would have been another great ninja world war. I've seen enough war," he said. "Can I do anything to help? Please tell me, and I'll try to do what you want. All I want is for you to keep Sasuke safe and keep him from falling into Danzo's hands. Already, everything has been done to make sure my future. You put something on your brother's shoulders. Do you want this to happen to him? My punishment will be to die at Sasuke's hands. Just please, keep him safe." Hiruzen let out a sigh and looked up at the moon. "I'll do what you want. I will keep Sasuke safe. I thank you, Hokage-sama. I think you should go now, Itachi. The investigation will keep the ANBU busy. I'll have to make a note of you in the bingo book," Hiruzen said. Itachi gave a nod and disappeared. Hiruzen just gave another sigh. He just wanted Naruto to be a better Hokage than he had been. Naruto had lunch with Lee and Tenten the next day. Yakumo was running toward them while they ate. She stopped by their table and took a few deep breaths. She shouted, "Guys, did you hear the big news?" "Big news?" Naruto wondered. "The Uchiha clan is completely gone." Yakumo spoke up. Everyone at the table and nearby was surprised. "You're joking. The whole group has left." Naruto cried out. "Yeah, they all died in one night. Everyone except one person was killed. Yakumo told me. So there's one person left." "Who's that?" asked Tenten. "Sasuke Uchiha." And everyone turned to see Neji leaning against the wall. "What do you know besides that, Neji-san?" Naruto asked. "Sasuke was saved from dying. Itachi Uchiha was the one who got rid of the Uchiha clan," Neji said. Everyone was even more surprised by this news. "You must be kidding. The clan's brightest child killed his own family," Lee shouted. When Naruto looked at Neji, he knew he wasn't lying. Why would Itachi kill everyone in his clan? Was something going on in the Uchiha family? "It's not smart to think about this, Uzumaki." "It was." "Neji, don't do this right now. Someone just lost all of their family members. You should know how that feels more than anyone," Naruto said to him. Before nodding, Neji looked off into the distance. After that, he went home. Naruto had to find out what was going on. "You three should have been killed for going behind me. How could you do this without my permission?" Hiruzen roared. "You were foolish to think you could have found a way out besides death. They were traitors who deserved to die," Danzo said. "Danzo is right, Hiruzen. They were planning a military takeover. They're betrayers," Homura added. "You can also be said to be the same. Treason is also defined as working against the Hokage. I might have to kill your families. Hiruzen snarled. Hiruzen, don't threaten us. Himura said it with a sharp tone. Or you'll do what? He asked back with the same tone. Enough, you both. What has already happened cannot be changed. Koharu cried out. They looked at each other again before Hiruzen laughed. Go, he told them. Danzo and Himura left right away. Koharu stayed behind to face her old teammate. You aren't making many friends, Hiruzen. She told me. You couldn't give me more time, could you? I could have solved the problem. Now we have a boy whose only goal in life will be to get revenge. Can you handle it, Koharu? Hiruzen asked. It wasn't the best idea, but what would we have done if there was no other way? Koharu asked, then walked out of his office. Hiruzen just sighed and touched the bridge of his nose. He just hoped that Konoha would be forgiven for such a thing. The sun came up over Konoha and shone on it. Its light got through several windows and woke some people up. Naruto was one of those people. The sun warmed up his face, which made him open his eyes. He groaned and looked at his window with a mean look. When he looked at his clock, he saw it was too early. He turned over to sleep on his side, but the sun kept waking him up. Naruto gave up after a few seconds and sat up on his bed. He yawned and had a sad look on his face. He took another look at his alarm clock and then at his calendar. He squinted a little and saw that today was the day of the Genin exam. Naruto jumped out of bed once he was awake. He grabbed his bath things and went to his bathroom. 6 months ago, it happened. Hiruzen found him another place to stay. This was a place where Shinobi lived. He thought back to the first people he met when he moved in. People will always remember the guy in the green spandex. After taking a shower and eating a bowl of ramen, Naruto left. As he left the district, he said hello to a few ninja, and they said hello back. Even though he was very early, Naruto didn't hurry to get to the academy. When he ran into someone, he thought about going to get Yakumo. Where are you? I see, it's you. Why do you keep running into me, you little brat? The teen gave a growl. Oh, I guess I did it. Please don't hurt me, you powerful Jacken. Naruto spoke in a sarcastic tone. They stared at each other for a moment, then Jacken laughed and walked away. Naruto didn't say anything as he watched Jacken leave. Jacken went back to school about a year ago. Everyone was worried and heard a lot of rumors about him when he came back. What Jacken tried to do was not a secret. The tension between them was clear to the whole class. A week later, Jacken approached Naruto. Naruto was flanked by Neji, Tenten, Yakumo and Lee as they didn't trust the older teen. The group got mad when Jacken apologized in his own way. Naruto just said that he and Jacken would stay out of each other's way. Jacken agreed and walked off. After that, Jacken went back to being Jacken. He no longer picked on people, but he had become very proud. He did this because he was the 4th best student and he did it all in just 2 months. He was bragging, and the class couldn't get enough of it. Tenten was also angry with him. It seems that Jacken didn't like the fact that he wasn't as good as her and said so. Not only did he question her skills, but he also called her buns. Lee, Naruto, and Iruka had to hold her back so that she wouldn't pull off Jacken's lower horn. Since then, the two were always on bad terms. Naruto just gave him a shrug and kept going to the Kurama compound. Iruka and a few other instructors from the academy went into the class. Everyone sat down at the ready and waited for Iruka to tell them what to do. The Genin exams have begun. We will test you on what you have learned and how well you can do it. There will be 3 parts to the test. The written test will be the first part. The second part is going to be a 3-part physical exam. The last part of the exam will be a test of the 3 basic jutsu. Do you all understand? Iruka asked. They all said, "Hi, teacher." Okay, let's start the test then. Iruka said. Naruto stood in front of the academy and Iruka. He was ready for them to try anything. Alright, Naruto. Let's start with the Kawarimi no Jutsu. Iruka said. Already did sensei. As he stood next to Iruka, Naruto said. Iruka and the other people were amazed that he could do that with a person. Okay, now I want you to henge into anyone you want. Iruka said. Naruto nodded and did what was asked of him. Hayashi, the leader of the Hyuga clan, was the person he chose. 2 teachers looked him over for flaws and were very happy with what they saw. He even had the expression of the Hyuga head. That was excellent. Now that I know you can do the Kage Bunshin, we want you to show us another jutsu. Iruka said. I understand. Naruto said. Naruto inhaled deeply. He did the tiger seal and let his chakra flow out. The examiners were amazed when water started to form. After a while, on either side of Naruto, 2 clones showed up. With a breath out, Naruto stopped using chakra. One examiner asked, "Are those Mizu Bunshin?" "Yeah, I got a scroll of Bunshin Jutsu for my birthday. Whoever gave me the gift thought I should have a wide range of things." Naruto gave a reason. "So, let's give you a helmet for your head. You deserve it," Iruka said happily. Naruto wrapped his headband around his head. He smiled big at everyone. Naruto was in a good mood as he left the academy. He was now a Konoha ninja. He looked around and saw the old man talking with a few parents. His mood got a little bit worse. He looked around and saw that everyone who had passed was being greeted by a loved one. Even Jacken had someone waiting to tell him he did a good job. Naruto let out a sad sigh at that. He had no family, so he never knew what it was like to be loved. As he was leaving, he could hear the whispers. Most people were sad about his death and didn't say anything about it. He usually didn't pay attention to the whispers, but this time it was hard. He just needed to get out of here. Someone yelled, "Naruto." Naruto looked up and saw Toshiko, Konohamaru and Asuma waving at him. He started moving toward them. "Hey you guys, what going on?" Naruto asked. "That's weird. I thought you'd be glad that you finished school. We came down here to say how happy we are for you," Asuma said. "Why you're here for me, right?" Naruto asked surprised. "We are, for sure. Why do you think we are all here?" Toshiko asked. She got on her knees and gave him a hug. "Naruto, I'm very proud of you," she told me. As she released him, Konohamaru gave him a bump. "You're the boss, right?" Konohamaru said. Naruto was very shocked, but he started to smile slowly. "Well, I guess I'm that good." Naruto was proud. The group laughed with him. Aruka and Hiruzen watched with smiles on their faces. At the Kurama compound, the party was in full swing. Naruto, Lee, and Tenten were asked to come by Yakumo. They liked them and the fact that they were now genin. Hiruzen Sarutobi showed up as they talked. "Hello, everyone. Can I borrow Naruto for a minute?" Hiruzen asked. They nodded and Hiruzen led Naruto away from the party. They were the only two people in the courtyard. "First of all, let me say that I am very proud of you. You have done more than I could have hoped for. However, our time as master and student has come to an end." "Sensei," Naruto began. "No, Naruto, you will be led by a different sensei from now on. They are going to teach you now." Hiruzen broke it down. "I understand, sensei," Naruto said sadly. "Now don't be that way, I do have one gift for you. It's a new technique," Hiruzen said. Naruto felt better right away. Hiruzen smiled and made the hand seals for the Kuchios no Jutsu. Monkey Enma came out of the smoke. He wasn't alone because he was standing next to another monkey. He looked like he was very bored. "Why am I here, Grandpa? I had a good time taking a bath," says the monkey. "I don't understand what your dad did wrong with you." Enma growled. Hiruzen laughed and looked at Naruto, who was very confused. "Let me introduce you to Sora, Naruto." Hiruzen introduced. Sora said hey in a lazy way. "Hey, old man, what's up?" Naruto asked. "I will explain it to you, Naruto. Hiruzen came to ask you to sign the scroll for calling the monkey. As far as he knows, that can't happen. The only clan the monkey clan works with is the Sarutobi clan, and they will always work with them. But we came to a sort of middle ground. My grandson here will be your personal summon. He will give you a tattoo that only you can use to call him." Enma told us. "Why do you keep making me do this?" Sora asked. "I told you so shut up and do it." Enma told him to go to Naruto and shoved him. Sora said something incoherently before walking toward Naruto. Before Sora bit Naruto in the arm, the two of them just looked at each other. The blonde howled in pain and threw Sora off. The monkey flipped and landed without a problem. "What the hell, dude?" Naruto cried out. "Man, you're loud. I had to give you some of my saliva through an injection." "Watch your arm," Sora said. Naruto did that, and then he saw a tattoo start to form. It looked like a monkey's face. "Before you did that, you could have told me," Naruto said angrily. Sora turned to his grandfather and said, "I don't care. Am I free to go?" Enma let out a sigh and told him to go. Sora disappeared in a puff of smoke, and Enma followed soon after. Hiruzen laughed at Naruto, who gave him an angry look. He got a scroll out of his bag and gave it to him. "These are the Kuchios no Jutsu's signs. Practice it every day until you can do it in your sleep," Hiruzen ordered. Yeah, Naruto grumbled. Then, he smiled and looked at his old teacher. "Thanks, sensei, for everything." "Naruto, it was my pleasure. Let's go back to the party." The two made their way back into the compound. Hiruzen and the staff at the academy were starting to put the teams together. From his point of view, there was no one interesting. He didn't think that this year's class would be very good. When he heard Naruto's name, he sat up. "So, with whom do we put Naruto Uzumaki?" one teacher asked. "I would have put him with Kurama and Rock Lee, but Lee was this year's worst player, so we put him with Neji and Tenten instead." Someone else. "We could still put him with Kurama-san, but who will be the third person?" "If I make a suggestion," Hiruzen said. All of the people looked at the Hokage. "I'd like to put Jacken in the same group as Yakumo and Naruto." "But, Hokage-sama, is that a good idea?" Aruka exclaimed. "It's common knowledge that Naruto and Jacken don't like each other very much. When you consider that neither Naruto nor Yakumo trusts him, their chances of succeeding are almost non-existent. I can see why you don't like the team, but I think they can work well together. I'm sure they can work well together because their skills complement each other. Hiruzen broke it down. Still, who could bring such a group of people together and keep them in line? A teacher was asked. Hiruzen smiled and gave each of the instructors at the academy a folder. The Hokage's choice surprised everyone. Hokage-sama, you can't be serious. Not even Uzumaki deserves this. Another instructor exclaimed. Yes, I do. No one knows what she'll do to them. I'm sure they'll do fine with her in charge. I think that in the near future, they will be one of our best teams. Hiruzen smiled and said. Everyone started to wonder if the man should stop working. Everyone would not be back at the academy for a week. It was time for everyone to meet their Jonin instructors and be put on teams. Iruka walked into the class and said, Order. When everyone was calm, Iruka turned to face the class. I'm proud of you all. You have graduated from the Shinobi Academy and are ready to start your job. I know that you will be proud to wear those symbols on your headbands. Now you'll be put on teams, so keep an ear out for your name. Team 1, Iruka called out. Iruka called out teams, but Naruto wasn't paying attention. He hoped that Yakumo and Lee would be his partners. He thought they would make a great team. Yakumo could hide them while he and Lee beat them up until they were unconscious. Team 9, Rock Lee, Tenten Kagachi and Neji Hyuga. Iruka said. That made Naruto kind of frown. He agreed that they were a great team, but he knew that Neji would put down his friend. He just wanted their sensei to help Lee get better at taijutsu. Iruka called out the next team after hearing the names of Team 12. Team 12, Iruka said with pause. He sighed and then said something. Naruto, Uzumaki, Yakumo, Kurama, and Jaken. Everyone was shocked and quiet. Neji was astounded, too. You could drop a pin anywhere in the room and it would hit someone. Sorry, but could you tell me that again? Jaken asked. I'm sorry, but you have been placed on that team. You will work with Naruto and Yakumo. Iruka said. Yakumo got up from her chair. You can't really think this sensei is good. You're putting us on the same team as a convicted murderer. Yakumo exclaimed. Hey, I didn't kill anyone. I went to jail because I tried to kill someone. Jaken shouted. Iruka let out a sigh and scratched his head. All of a sudden, a black ball flew through the window. It blew up in a cloud of smoke and pieces of paper. When it cleared, a woman with a tam trench coat and nothing much else stood in front of a banner. The sign said, Ankomitarashi, the sexy and deadly sensei of Team 12. She was smiling evilly and had a dango stick in her mouth. Okay, worms, your date with the devil has come.
So this was it for today. I will continue the story in next part. Till then, we weeb offline.